you can do this stuff. Just thought I'd point out something. If you hear some really weird noises in the background, my radiator's doing that winter thing where it makes a weird whistling noise, and also I've got the window open because it was getting a little bit hot in here. But let's begin. I originally filmed this video possibly back in July, end of July, beginning of August. I feel like I want to redo this video because of two things. Number one, I did say a couple of things in there, and you know, I kind of mentioned certain names that I shouldn't have done, and the video was really long. In fact, probably too long for me to kind of edit, and you know, I was going through a lot of stuff. And number two, things have changed, but I've still got a long way to go. So this video is about one life-changing event that's happened. Well, I guess I've had two this year. Number one, which is some great news, that you know, I've been able to do my singing business, get that launched this year, and I'm amazed how well I've done with that. Like, you know, I'm amazed with the amount of gigs I've had and support from family and friends, and the, you know, care homes and, you know, social groups for people with disabilities that I've been able to entertain for, and it's fantastic, and I thank you all so much for that. The other event in my life this year is the one I'm focusing on, and this is mental health. I have been through a very tough, challenging, I guess you could say experience, maybe learning curve, but I have had a lot of problems with mental health issues. The mental health issues really did start sort of end of last year, where I'll get to that bit in a moment, but I should probably explain. Due to my autism, I've always had problems with anxiety. You know, certain things at school that would make me anxious, like certain teachers. I remember, you know, having real problems with assemblies when I was like 13 years old, and so many other things, I guess, you know, but I never really kind of told people, you know, because I guess probably you'd be told, you know, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's nothing to worry about, you know, don't be silly, but you know, it's that kind of thing. And you know, I've had the anxiety kind of, you know, happen throughout my life, through college and stuff. You know, but that was just sort of more what I would call, you know, the part of the autism combo. But things really started to change when it was July of last year. I got a new job at the care home I worked at as a carer, and I am totally not blaming the work colleagues or the care home that I was with. You guys were just amazing, wonderful people to work with. I loved being there, I loved being with the residents, but it did take a little bit of a toll on my mental health issues, with it all kind of starting when we had a refurb at the care home. And I don't think I was the only one. I think a lot of people were, you know, basically thrown out of sync, because you know, we had to work around the people decorating the place and that kind of thing, and that was quite stressful. Excuse me. Which I guess in the end all resulted in one day where I had my first panic attack. First ever panic attack. And I even remember the date and time. The 8th of December 2016, 11:30 in the evening. I'd had this completely stressful day where I had a really, you know, very busy, stressful early shift. I went out in the evening to the LGBT group. I took a friend home. I got myself lost, managed to get myself home, and I had to get myself to bed because I was going to get up in the early hours of the morning to celebrate birthday celebrations because it's Mike Mixtape's birthday on that day. But I tried to get myself to sleep. Something else got into my head, and it was The Bear and the Lion, but it was kind of distorted in my head, and I just couldn't switch off. I felt awful, and I started to have a little bit of deep breath, like rapid breathing happening, but then it kind of eased off, and then it just kicked into a panic attack where you're hyperventilating, you feel tingliness on your skin, you feel like you're going to pass out, that sort of thing, and it was horrible. Luckily, I was able to speak to my friend James Sullivan on Skype, and things melted away, and I just thought that was the end of it, because the next day I was going in to do a late shift, but next day I just felt awful. I felt anxious, I felt like I kept switching from either wanting to, you know, fall asleep or walk around and stuff. You know, luckily I had my sister there to talk to and stuff like that, and I tried to go into work, you know, and unfortunately, you know, for, you know, doing a 6-hour shift, I only lasted an hour, which was mostly spent washing up, crying, and just, I felt awful. Like, when I got to work, all I wanted to do was sleep and shut down, and it really did take me a couple of days to properly recover, you know, because like I was doing stuff and my stomach was affected the most. Like, I wouldn't want to eat big meals, I would only want to eat small things like snacks, and you know, luckily I didn't have major panic attacks at work. I think I did have one where I was doing a full shift. It was coming up to dinner time for the residents, and I was trying to help a resident, and I just broke, you know, and I ended up sort of practically on my knees, sobbing my heart out. I felt this tingling sensation. I felt like I wanted to be away from my body, not in that situation, and it was awful, absolutely awful. But I managed to finish the shift, you know, and it was just very scary. Forwarding to January, where I felt like I had enough. I just, you know, I was fine with early shifts, but late shifts I just could not deal with. And I just didn't like the fact that I would come home from a late shift either crying my eyes out or hitting the bottle, and just in a way to kind of drown out what I had to deal with in that, you know, in that late shift. And I felt like I just didn't want to do that anymore. You know, I didn't want to cause myself further problems. You know, I didn't want to become an alcoholic. I felt like, you know, I didn't want to make myself more poorly, and so I decided in January I would have my notice in, gave them a month's notice, and it was, I think it was the 26th or 27th of February of this year, I had my last ever shift at Larchwood. And you know, I spoke to the activities coordinator about me possibly coming back to sing and stuff like that, because, you know, I was setting up my own singing business at the same time, and things were great. I went on holiday to Eastbourne for a week with my parents and my aunts, which was absolutely wonderful, you know, apart from the fact that I went down with a cold during that holiday, but it happens. So anyway, I basically, you know, come round to March, I had a gig lined up all ready to go, and I was looking forward to it. But of course, one thing that came around was that I had to sort out my benefits, and I used to be on DLA, but then it got changed over to PIPs, and I had to apply for PIPs. And the journey of doing that this year, where the upcoming months where I would have the assessment, get rejected, send in the appeal letter, and then get rejected. But I found with that process, I was still having, I guess, kind of underlying anxiety just kind of like bubble away, and I would have to keep having breaks to fill out the forms. And I think one thing that was on my mind, it was just, I think I was so scared for what might happen, because, you know, hearing so many horror stories about it. And certain things I found were starting to affect me, like relationships with certain people. Like, I'm not going to mention names, but if a certain person was in the room, like, if I was talking to Mike and that certain person came in the room, I'd feel really anxious and stuff. Like I still kind of have it now, and that sort of thing. And that kind of, because I think maybe because there was like one resident that used to be very troublesome during dinner time if I worked on a particular unit of Larchwood, and I think that kind of anxiety and whatever stayed with me. And also, you know, I was starting up my own business, so I didn't think about going back into work, because the one thing I've had is that I was scared about, like, if I went into another job, would it be as stressful as the last job that I had? And also, going back onto job seekers absolutely terrified me, and it still does, so much since I last was on it. And, you know, just this sort of feeling. So I thought I need to be able to, you know, I thought I need to distract myself. So I went back to the Tabor Centre to volunteer. That was in the June of this year, and I'm so glad I did it, because it's absolutely brilliant. You know, I feel so out of place when I don't go, you know, and I've still had problems and whatever with my mental health and that in that sort of job, but luckily it's voluntary, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Panic attacks and stuff I still had, like I think I had like one in April or something like that. But then when May came around, that was when things started to go very wrong and snowball. Where I went out on my first clubbing night, even though it ended wrong, or ended terribly, because I got very drunk, because I didn't know what the drinking etiquette was. But I now know what to do next time, and I really want to go on another, you know, night out just to get myself back up onto the horse, so to say. But it was then, because basically I didn't have many gigs in May. I only had one, and that was voluntary. And that was when things started to become really bad. I was having, you know, anxiety, panic attacks and stuff. And that was the point where I felt like I needed to go and see a doctor. So Mum took me to the doctors. They put me on Sertraline, which is a anti-anxiety drug, and also it's an antidepressant as well, because with the anxiety as well, I was having problems with depression as well, like this feeling of, like, you know, because most people just think of depression as, you know, being down in the dumps, or they're like, oh my god, my life's terrible, my boyfriend's just dumping. No, you're just feeling sad and miserable like a normal person. True depression is where, the best way I can explain it, you know, when you do yoga and they say imagine that line of you know, your centre line going through your body. Well, it felt like someone took that centre line and put like a 5 kilogram, you know, anvil on it, or like a kilogram anvil on it, and it just pulls you through, and it makes even the simplest thing impossible to do, you know. It would be like, you know, even just to, you know, get yourself dressed in the morning, stand in the shower, brush your teeth and stuff, it would make it really bad. It would just, you know, it just stopped the impossible. And then June came around, and that was when I self-harmed for the first time. The night before I self-harmed for the first time, I actually had the thoughts of, you know, going into the bathroom, getting the disposable razors and thinking, how could you break it to get the blade out? And I think it was the 3rd of June that this happened, and I took a pair of safety kid scissors, and I literally, I don't know if you can see it there, it's hard to tell with the lighting, but literally I had like just 3 slits that I did on my stomach, because I woke up feeling really depressed one morning, or just feeling depressed, and when I snapped out of it I realised, oh my god, what have I done? So I had to hide it. So luckily I did it on my stomach where I could hide it easily. Then, actually no, now I think about it, the first time I self-harmed was the 1st of June, because then the 3rd of June, like 2 days later, I did it again, where I was sorting out some headphones and I stupidly took the scissors back into the room with me, back into my bedroom, and I'm thinking, oh god, I need someone to talk to. No one was online to talk to. So, and something in my mind was saying, well, no one's going to help you. Your parents need sleep for the one act play festival tomorrow, you might as well do it. And I did. And I don't know if you could probably see it a lot better, this patch, but I literally just did that. And then afterwards I spoke to Matt Brunet afterwards. He was, you know, luckily I was able to call him and I told him what happened, you know, and he just advised me, you know, just to go to bed and get some sleep, because naturally late at night your mind just, you know, it's all over the place. And I find most of the time when I self-harm, apart from the first time, it's usually done at night. Quick break. So yeah, so not only did I have problems with self-harm as in the stereotypical way, but I started doing things that, like you probably noticed on my stomach, a couple of marks there, and there's more marks there. I started having this kind of behaviour that wasn't quite self-harming, but I guess subconsciously it was, where I would start to pluck away at like little zit heads and, you know, little funny little hairs in there, and sometimes if I missed it I'd pinch the skin, so I would end up, you know, with marks and whatever. You probably can't see them very well, they're mostly on my boobs, but I'm not going to flash my boobs. And you know, I started having that behaviour. And also another, I guess you could call that a very self-destructive behaviour, but another self-destructing behaviour that I had was smoking. I'd always, like, I've been a herbal smoker on and off since I was 17, not like cannabis, but like stuff that actors use when they're not actually smokers and stuff. You can get them on Amazon. The brand I usually have is Honey Rose, but I just found that wasn't doing anything for me, and I started smoking tobacco. And basically that was I think it was mid-July that I started doing that. And before I started smoking, I just used to have this very hazy kind of feeling in my body. Like I felt like I was kind of wandering through a dream that I was somehow in control of, and I didn't feel connected with my surroundings. And I found that with smoking, that sensation just went away. You know, I mean, I don't regret smoking, because there is a time and a place to regret it, which is in the future. I'm not proud of the fact that I started smoking tobacco. You know, not proud of it at all. Really am not. You know, I don't regret starting, because when I look back on it, it really helped me, and I guess still kind of does help me. But I'm not proud of it, you know? Especially when you've grown up in a family of smokers, you know, mostly on my mum's side of the family. And, you know, you just think to yourself, my God, what if my grandparents were down here now, they would just be giving me a serious lecture and probably a good smack in the hand. But, you know, it just kind of happens. Then things changed. I think it must have been, August time, that, you know, like I said, I was put on medication and then I got referred to the mental health team, which was Health and Minds, and I got to have one-to-one telephone counselling with a lovely lady called Hannah. And, you know, she was able to give me a better understanding of what was going on, and also the fact that I had my mum there with me for them, because like some people can just, you know, they can do their therapy by themselves in their room and not really speak about it, you know, and rather keep it to themselves. But for me, I'm a very open person, and I feel a lot better when I talk to people about these things. And you know, and so with having my mum there, not only was she there to support me or just go through stuff that I didn't quite understand, but it helped her, because beforehand she just wouldn't know what to do. She would feel helpless and stuff. But once we started having the therapy, it was a case where it's like, right, now I know what's sort of going through your mind, and or I've got a vague idea of that, and also I know now how I can help you, because sometimes I just need that little bit of help. So things started going a lot better. I went on to decaffeinated tea, pretty much decaf coffee as well, but mostly decaf tea, which I found helped amazingly. And I do notice a difference when I've had tea that's caffeinated. It can have an effect on my anxiety and stuff, because I was told that, you know, caffeine can make anxiety worse. So in a way, that's really helped, and you know, I'm happy just to stay on decaf for a while, you know, for a long time. And you know, she taught me some really brilliant exercises, like, and the one exercise I found that really helped for me was a breathing exercise, where literally you put your hand on your diaphragm, one hand on your chest, and you take a slow deep breath in through the nose, counting for 7, hold it for about 4 seconds, and then you let it out gently through your mouth. And she said for me to imagine there was a candle right in front of me, and I was actually just making the flame flicker. I wasn't putting it out, but I was making it flicker. And once I found I was able to practice that, you know, it was amazing how just by practicing the exercise, I found that I was, you know, a lot more better at myself. And the other one she taught me, which I don't use so much because I don't find the anxiety escalates that much now, but I have got it if I need it, and that's a muscle relaxation, which is a bit like the breathing one, but what you do is when you breathe in, you slowly clench your muscles, hold it, and then you release it, because the fact that when your body goes stiff or you lose sensation in your limbs, or in my case get all fidgety and stuff, you're using the muscles in a constructive way. So yeah, so that's basically what I was taught, and I found that I was starting to, you know, have a lot better, basically a lot more better good days, you know, a lot more good days than bad. I mean, I'm still kind of in this whole thing where I'll have a little good patch and then a bad patch, but I'm definitely starting to recognise when my bad patches may come up. And for me, I find most of the time my bad patches are most likely to pop up when I'm due for my period, because whole body goes out of sync, and so, you know, your noggin goes out of sync as well. So yeah, so the one thing I'm really glad that I've had throughout all this is the support of family and friends. But there's one thing that really kind of made me realise, okay, I need to do a little bit more now, is, you know, and it's totally my fault in some aspects that I do take blame, and it is where I lost a friend. You know, when I said before that I spoke to Matt Brene and stuff, like we weren't really kind of close, but like we would chat and whatever occasionally if he was free, and he was great to help me out with certain things, but he found that my problems were just getting too much for him and his hectic schedule, and he was sort of saying that I was using my problems for attention when I really wasn't. Like, you know, I'd message him on a good day like, hi, how you doing, just to see, because when I see him online I think, well, I might have a spare moment just to say hi, how you doing. But you know, and he sent me this really kind of long message on Skype, saying that he didn't want to talk to me as a friend anymore. So I guess I was demoted back to fan. And I just couldn't believe what I'd done, and I realised actually I need to be really careful, otherwise, you know, I may lose more people like James or Mike or Devon or something like that, you know, or other people. So I just thought, right, I really need to distract myself more and, you know, try my best to do stuff. And, you know, I am still trying my best, you know, every day I'm trying. You know, I always take one day at a time, and I always do my best, you know. and that sort of thing. But I realised that I needed to stop depending on my friends across the pond and actually start depending on people like my parents and that sort of thing. And I found that was starting to help me out a lot more, because it's great to talk to someone online or whatever just to get things out, but it's not the same as being there in person where they can give you a hug afterwards, or they can just give you a hug, you know, during the moment, or just hold your hands and stuff like that. But I mean, I am very thankful that I have got the friends that I have across the pond, and the fact that they stuck by me is brilliant. Unfortunately, the mental health problems did have a lot of effects on Mike. Like, he was going through a very stressful patch, and I was too, and we decided that we would take a break from our relationship, but in the end we broke up. So I mean, in a way, I'm glad that I've been able to, you know, we've been able to give it another go, and makes a lot of difference. And I tell you what, nearly 8 months of a relationship is so much better than just 3 weeks, you know. It's brilliant, you know. And I'm just glad that, but the one thing I'm so thankful about with Mike is the fact that when my problems started, many people would just leave the relationship and just be like, I can't deal with this, you know, you're on your own. But the fact that he stuck by my side is fantastic. You know, he did the right thing. He did a very brave thing, very, very brave thing, and he's stood by my side, you know, and he's still by my side today. I mean, we're both still give me the best of friends, you know. We're never going to lose each other in that way. And, you know, he's still there to talk to, and he's still there to comfort me and stuff, and to support me. And it's amazing. But I definitely realised that I need to be careful when it comes to my mental health problems having effect on friends and stuff. And, you know, it really was a wake-up call, and in a way I'm glad that it happened, but in a way I'm sort of glad that it didn't happen, you know, because I thought, great, Matt's never going to speak to me again, or, you know, would he be able to forgive me in the future and stuff like that. But, you know, it really depends. And Matt, if you're watching this, I just want to say, I know I've asked James to pass this message on to you, but I am so incredibly sorry about over messaging you and stuff like that. I understand that you have a very busy schedule. I guess sometimes I would just kind of forget, you know, being the naive, hopeful one, thinking, oh, you know, he might have time just to say a quick hi. So I'm so sorry for that, but also I want to say thank you, because even though your schedule is very hectic at times, the fact that you were able just to help me out just with just messaging on Messenger or calling you, you know, I just really appreciate that. I really appreciate when people are just there for me, even if they can't fix my problems or work miracles. As long as I just have someone's presence and someone to talk to, just to get my feelings out, that's all that matters. And someone just to say, it's going to be okay, you know, even if that's the only answer that people can give me, you know, that's all I ask for. You know, it's going to be okay, I'm here for you, we're going to get through this, or you're going to get through this. And I just really appreciate the fact that despite your hectic lifestyle and the fact that you've got a new gaming channel, the fact that you were able to find time for me is brilliant. And I just realised I should have been thinking more before I acted on my actions, and you know, but thank you so much for being there, and the fact that you were there for me, and with all my friends online, the fact that you guys are there for me, it means the world to me. It really does. And I know my mental health problems have had a real effect on me, like with the podcast where like I'm finding it very hard to stay awake, and I do apologise for that. I really do. Like, I don't mean to fall asleep, it's just the fact that, you know, if my laptop's not working, I have to use my phone, you know, and it is very hard, and, you know, I do try my hardest to, you know, take part as much as I can, and I know it's not professional for me to fall asleep, but it is a struggle. Sometimes it really is a struggle. And, you know, I'm just thankful that I have you guys and the new friends through Sam and Cody on the podcast. I'm so thankful that I have my family and friends, and the one thing I am so thankful for is my sister, because she totally understands 100% what I'm going through, because she's been through it herself. And it's just been so wonderful to have someone just so I can say, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, is that normal? And just someone say, oh yeah, been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. You know, it's just so if I had any queries or whatever, and you know, she's been able to help me out through my dark times, and I will always be there for you, Liz, through your dark times. And I'm just so glad that I've got the people in my life that I do. And I love you all so much. I do apologise because I am an ugly crier. But it just kind of shows that I'm human, and I didn't think I was going to cry this much. Like in the last video I didn't really cry so much, but it's still, you know, very hard to talk about these things. Like, one of the things that's held me back, I guess, is still the stigma around mental health. Like, that's one of the things that's held me back from finding another job of some sort, is the fact that I'm so worried that it's like, are they going to be able to understand me? Are they going to be able to deal with me? Am I going to be able to deal with the job and them? And the biggest one of all is that how many duvet days, which is the mental health equivalent of a sick day, how many duvet days am I going to be allowed to have before they decide to replace me and they can't pull up with me anymore? You know, if I keep calling and saying, sorry, I've got to stay home. But I know that's probably not the case for every workplace. You know, I'm sure there's some wonderful workplaces out there that have people with mental health issues that are going through tough times, and they are very understanding and supporting, and I'm happy for those people, and I definitely congratulate the companies for doing that. But you know, despite this being a very tricky year with it all, I'm so incredibly proud of the things I've been able to achieve this year. Like, my singing business, I thought it wasn't really going to take off, but I've had, you know, some months full of gigs, some months a bit more quieter, but hey, what can you say? That's the life of being a singer, you know. And but I'm just so glad that I've been able to achieve the things that I have, and I never thought I'd be able to achieve them now, let alone when I was a kid, you know, being severely autistic, my parents being told that there wasn't much hope for me, and, you know, I probably wasn't going to be able to progress and stuff. But the fact that now I'm running my own business, I'm able to do singing gigs, and it's amazing. And I'm so glad I can make them proud. I'm so glad I can. You know, and I know that my whole family is so incredibly proud of me, and I'm proud of myself. And I got so many fun things to look forward to, like my secret project. If you guys are following my singing page, I have been mentioning about Secret Project. I will put the link to my singing page in the description box below, so you guys can go and follow that. Seeing any other singing videos. But I'm so incredibly pleased and glad and so happy that I do have my singing career, my singing business. That is the one thing that has kept me going this year. Even through dark times where I felt like I would have those thoughts thinking it's no point going on. I'm just so glad that has kept me going. I've always had a passion for singing, and I find music so therapeutic, and it's such a powerful, wonderful tool that we have in our lives and we have on this earth, and it has really got me through some tough times. Like back in October, I did a gig at the Dengie Club and it was voluntary, but I went for it and absolutely loved it. And the fact that not only did it remind me of my purpose in life, you know, to provide joy and happiness to people through music, but there was actually one guy there who mostly just does the raffle and doesn't really talk to anybody else. But the fact that he was up and singing and dancing with people and talking to people, and he put a lovely post about me on Facebook. It's just amazing. And I think I spoke about this in a vlog that I'm yet to edit. It'll probably be edited after this video. But yeah, it's just been a wonderful experience, and I got to do their Halloween party, and I cannot wait for their Christmas party. We're gonna have so much fun, and the fact that we're actually gonna be able to do Christmas songs at the right time of the year. Yeah, the amount of times I've done Christmas songs at those gigs, and the fact that ironic thing of doing Christmas gigs at Christmas songs at a Halloween gig. I mean, how crazy is that? It's brilliant. So I'm just so looking forward to it. I've got my Secret Project to look forward to. Hopefully on the 21st of November, hopefully everything will come together. Or I will be doing the final major bit of my Secret Project, and then just one more little thing to do, and then hopefully it'll be all together. And I cannot wait for you guys to come and see. I just can't wait for you guys to see this new project. I really cannot wait. I'm so bloody excited about it. It's fulfilling a dream that I've had since I was 8. I just cannot wait. I've got so many other things to look forward to. Hopefully in a couple of weeks time going up, I don't know, hopefully be able to see my sister over Christmas. Tomorrow I'm going to go and get my hair done. Woo! And I'm actually going to get highlights. How awesome's that? Yeah, I'm actually going to have part of my hair that matches my intelligence. So yeah, I just cannot wait, And, I'm just so glad that I have achieved so many things. And, I know I've still got a long way to go, but I'm glad that things are getting better. And when it comes to mental health, you are going to have your up days and down days, and when you're having those down days, and you feel like nothing's gonna work or you're not gonna get out of it, you really will, and the sun will shine, the skies will be blue, and you're gonna go out there, do what you do best, and you're gonna rock it. You are really gonna rock it. And and I can't wait for 2018. I'm nervous about what 2018 may bring to me, but hopefully lots more singing gigs. Hopefully a chance to try and quit smoking. It'll probably be very fucking hard, but I'm willing to do it. And hopefully, a step towards, getting better. And things will get better. Believe me. And that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say now is keep your chin up. Smile. You are going to get through this. Everyone you know loves you. No matter what happens, they love you. So dramatic. Peppa, come here. Just need to borrow out for 2 ticks. Hey, by the way, if you guys think about self-harming, don't use a knife, because that will be your result, and it will stay for you for her, if need be. If you are thinking about self-harming, find someone to have a good cuddle with. Like this little cutie. This is my Bebo. She's my kitty cat. She's a bit of a madam at times because she's a naughty torty, but I love her very much. So, you know, go and find someone to cuddle. Mum, dad, grandparents, whoever. Or if need be, have a cuddle with your pet. Because, you know, they'll always be there for you. You know, you give them love, they give you love back, and you feel so much better. Ain't that right? She's playing really loudly and clawing my arm, so I think that means yes. So, maybe cuddle a cat, or a dog, or a guinea pig. Cuddle your fish if you so wish to, but you might want to cuddle the tank they're in, you know. Don't take them out of the tank to cuddle them. Ain't that right, Beba? So, bye-bye. Hey, Beba. Gonna say bye-bye.